hello, welcome to Adwick Lane, and of course Droxford. And well, this one is kind of like new additions and also a little bit of a summary of what I've done, what's left to do on the layouts, and also I'm going to be announcing a new project that I'm going to be starting. Well, I was supposed to start it this year, but it got put back, so I'm going to start that after Christmas. Now, last 2 weeks I've been to exhibitions, and very rare for me. I've not been for one for years. I've been watching them on YouTube and things like that. But I went to the Barnsley one last week. You may have seen the coaches on the Droxford running session last week that I bought. Also, I went to the Wakefield exhibition today and got this to add to my 47 fleet. Lima 47, and it's 47315, and so yeah, I bought that today. Also, another bit of N-gauge point work and another bundle of N-gauge track, which will lead me on to something a little bit later. I'll tell you about that a little bit later on, but we'll do a little bit of a summary on the layouts, and then I'll announce the new project. Right, we'll start at Adwick Lane. As you know, I've done the overhead mast and things like that. Not really a lot to do now on here. I'm going to change some of the signs on certain buildings to make them more sort of like a personal thing. The bakery's going to have a new sign made for it. Pretty much everything's done here. This one needs a good tidy up again because it's getting a bit messy again. Still a little bit to do in the park. I want to put some swings in the park, maybe slide, and that. Bus depot, not really anything to do here now. It's all done. Got loads of buses. In fact, I've probably got too many buses now. So yeah, pretty much that really. You know, the streets and everything, they're all done. So really, pretty much not much to do, just adding little tiny bits and bobs really. So it's just sort of, if I think of something, oh yeah, I'll add that. The only thing I've done is I added some posters onto the retaining wall there, because actually I was doing something and I dropped something and it made a hole in the wall there, because this is only corrugated cardboard, this. And I managed to drop something and it went through the blooming thing, didn't it? So I put a post there. I thought, well, I'll stick another one next to it as well. This needs tidying up a bit, this little bit here. This bit here needs tidying up where I'll put the new signals in. That just needs tidying up really. Not much else I can really do. Sheds are pretty much yeah, just sort of usual clutter and things, and just sort of a little bit tidying up around here. I might just put a little bit of scatter around there, or some like sort of little bits of bush or something, just to tidy it up. But yeah, pretty much not much sort of really I can do with this. It's just sort of adding little bits and bobs now really, just sort of titivating it up a bit. Right, we'll have a trip over to Droxford. So here we are at Droxford. What's left to do here? Back scene, back board along here. Then the back scene, of course. The roads got to be finished. Also, fascia on the front of here, and around there. All the fascia's got to be done. Where the controller is and all that lot. I've got to do that. I want to put some more trees and bushes on these sides here as well. The same, if I hold this over here, it's like having a drone. I want to put some trees and some bushes on there. I did stick, the trouble with trying to stick these, they sort of have a mind of their own and roll off. So, and I've got to put a load of trees on here. I don't know if I showed you this, the post box with the plaque that says that, you know, the Winston Churchill and the Royal Train and the D-Day landings on there. So yeah, pretty much mainly scenic work, odds and ends really. Road's got to be painted. Also got the height sign on the bridge as well. This bit, just the road needs painting. Everything else, I'm quite happy with that. I don't think there'd be too many bushes on the cutting side, to be honest, because of course, you know, because of sparks from the steam engines. I mean, they used to keep the cuttings and that cut back. So put some more trees along here, but I can't do this bit till I get the backboard up. Put some more trees along the top there because it's looking a bit sparse. I don't really know whether to put bushes, small trees on there, or just leave it. I think I'm probably just going to leave it because, as I say, it would have been cut short in steam days anyway. This is pretty much okay, not doing much here. I might put some horses in this field, maybe some sheep in that field up there. So pretty much it's just, as I say, the main thing is just the backboard on Droxford and getting the roadways done. Everything else is pretty much there, and obviously got to get some trees to cover this bit. In fact, what I should have done was made this a bit higher, but I didn't. But, you know, anyway, I'll just buy another pack of these trees and just cover it with that. So that's our little tour of Droxford and everything there. So I'll the announcement on the next project. So this brings us to the new project. It's going to be a model of Sprotborough Station, which it's on the outskirts of Doncaster. It was the old Hull and Barnsley from Ragbrook Junction through to Dennerby. I think it closed pretty sort of early, really. This is a very old black and white picture, but you can kind of get the idea of how it looks. And here we see it looking the other way. You're actually looking towards Cadeby and Dennerby this way. The other way was looking towards Ragbrook Junction. So anyway, that's basically it as it was. I'll put a couple of pictures on how it is sort of now and things like that. Now, I'd seen pictures of it, and, you know, people had posted on Facebook pages, local Facebook pages. Well, I happened to be working on Cadeby Road, where it is. The last drop was the old station house. So I took a very sort of wet day, but I took some pictures. And what I'll do, I'll just click to the next one because it's taken from the other way. And there you go, It's all overgrown and things like that. But and I thought, hang on a minute, that might be an idea for a little model, because it's still there. And actually, this is the only example of a Hull and Barnsley wooden building that's actually left. The only other one was at Pickburn, which is just up the road from me here. But sadly, nothing remains of Pickburn, just the station master's house and one bridge wing wall. The rest of it completely swept away because the actual station was on an embankment. And it's all been just totally ploughed out. In fact, beyond Sprotborough, heading towards Ragbrook Junction, very little remains of it. Now this is what it looked like from the other side. All the track bed just full of rubbish, and I believe that's an old Morris Minor stuck there in the undergrowth. I know that's a little Fiesta or something like that at the front, but I'm sure that's an old Morris Minor pickup at the back of that. Anyway, so yeah, that's how it looked. This going back a couple of years ago. Now somebody's bought it and they're actually clearing it. They've sort of done a lot of building around where the station master's house is, but they've also cleared all the undergrowth where from the station building, and of course you can get a better picture of it now. And there's the platform side. They haven't actually started clearing the actual track bed yet, but I took some I went and had a look one bank holiday Monday, and I went and had a look around to get some more pictures and bits of it. You may have seen the video actually, because I did post a video about my little trek around Sprotborough. Must be about a year ago now. This shows how much rubbish there was in between the platforms. Now, I went and had a bit of a mooch around one bank holiday, had a walk around. Now, if you see the previous picture, all this was full of rubbish, and they literally dug all the track bed out in between the platforms. Now, this is further on along the track bed, opposite the just over a bit from the main building. As you can see, they've cleared. All this was just full of brambles and trees and rubbish and all sorts, and they've cleared it pretty well. Now, this here is the base of the waiting shelter on the opposite platform. I just took some pictures of it just for sort of reference, really. Now, where this is here, now that is where the signal box was located. This was a later addition. When the line closed, they built this for loading coal. They used to bring the coal wagons into the platform here, and then just load them from here. But on the model, I'm not going to use that, but that bit is going to be not there, because as it originally was, this wasn't here. This is a later addition when the line actually closed for like passengers. It was basically for freight, and they use that for loading coal. But that's where the signal box used to be. Now, here's the signal box in situ. Now, that's that piece that was a later addition. That's the signal box. Now, I'm going to show you another picture of this signal box in a minute, where it ended up after it kind of left Sprotbrough Station. It ended up as a shed on an allotment at Cudworth. So yeah, that's what happened to Sprotbrough signal box anyway. But obviously, I'm going to have to sort of recreate that. Everything's got to be scratch built again, similar to Oxford. So it's going to be a case of lots of scratch building. Now, here's a picture of that piece up. That's that piece that they added on. Coal wagons. They used to load from there into the coal wagons. But obviously, I'm going to take that bit out, because obviously it won't be no good for running as a passenger rail. That's stuck there. I'm going to sort of do it as it was before that thing was kind of built there. Now, as you come out of Sprotbrough going towards Cadeby and Dennerby, you've got this bridge on Nursery Lane. If you see this fence, that's where the track bed is. You've got the bridge abutment there, and the track bed's actually above that. Now, nothing's been taken off that. That is how it was built, but the track bed is roughly where the bottom of that fence is. So I'm going to build that, obviously, on the I've managed to get loads of pictures and things like that. Plenty of stuff online as well, which has kind of helped. But when I had my little wander, I went when it was obviously when the when the leaves had dropped, so you could get a decent picture of it. And the construction's weird, because you've got stonework at the bottom, then you've got diagonal brickwork going up on the arch. Now, about a quarter of a mile past that bridge, you come into this rock cutting, which is, well, they've stuck boulders there to stop people going through, but I think that probably stop people on quad bikes and things tearing through there. But as you see, it's a rock cutting, so I shall model that. Now, there's going to be a great big chunk lopped out, because to enter the fiddle yard, I wanted to add another feature on this particular line, but it's sort of quite a bit further along from here. So this is where the line will go into the fiddle yard, Cadeby Tunnel. Now and again you can walk through it. It's really sort of waterlogged at the ends, but when you get past that bit, you get about sort of 20-30 yards in, and it's dry as anything, and you can walk through it. And the radio station that I work for, 3 of us spent a few hours in there recording a Halloween special, because it's reputedly haunted. We didn't pick up anything. Our MP3 recorders just picked up the noise of the bats that live in there, and that was it. But yeah, this will then go in to the fiddle yard, Cadeby Tunnel, which, and if you come coming back this way, you end up at the Cadeby Quarry. But I don't know whether to model that bit or just do it so it just goes straight into Cadeby Tunnel. I'm not sure yet. I'm probably going to just do it so it goes into the rock cutting, comes into this, then goes into Cadeby Tunnel, then into the fiddle yard. Now, if you go the other way, coming out. So KB Tunnel's behind us. You've got the bridge. You've got KB Road goes over this bridge. Now that bridge doesn't exist. All this bit's all been backfilled. Where that bridge is, there's nothing left of the bridge at all. And behind the bridge, the whole cutting's been filled in. There's nothing from there right across Melton Road. There's a little bit between there and Cusworth, but other than that, there's very little left beyond that Sprotborough going to. This actually takes you towards Ragbrook Junction, Pickburn, and then Ragbrook Junction. But yeah, this bridge completely gone. So what I've had to do, because it's Hull and Barnsley, some other places where I've been working, there's some Hull and Barnsley, old Hull and Barnsley lines with some bridges. So what I've done is I've taken some pictures of those, because they're pretty much the same. I think it's pretty much standard stuff that they did on the Hull and Barnsley anyway. Now another part of Doncaster, I was working in one particular day. Now the next Hull and Barnsley line runs under this bridge, and I'm guessing that bridge at Sprotborough is probably the same design as this. So I nabbed a few pictures of this particular bridge. Sort of getting a few details on it and things like that. So, and this is from the track bed, but this bit's probably, I think that bit's been added to sort of strengthen the roadway, because a lot of lorries go over this now. So I can cut, although it's on a skew, I can use it as a rough idea really. Now this is where the line crossed KB Road, and this here is where the bridge used to be. As you can see, all this side's been backfilled, all that's been filled. In fact, there's two bungalows built on the top of what was the railway cutter, but that is where the bridge used to be. As I say, it's all gone now. Now this is the inside of KP Tunnel, and in fact, if you stand in one part of it, it's completely black. It's got a slight curve. If you look up there, you can just see a little speck of light. I don't know if you can see that, but that's where the end of the tunnel is. Now I mentioned Pickburn. Now all that's left at Pickburn now is that building, that part of that wing wall for that bridge. None of this, all this embankment, all this, none of this, the two bridges, completely gone. It's completely flat land there now. Nothing, absolutely nothing is left of the railway apart from Station Master's house and just one small wing wall of this bridge here that went to Brodsworth Colliery. Right, and this is Pickburn Station. Now, as you can see, the building very similar. As I say, all this lot is, it's all embankment. It's all been dug out, levelled. Nothing remains at all. That goes straight onto Ragbrook Junction. That went round into Brodsworth Colliery. But as I say, all this embankment, all this is gone. Nothing. It's completely flat now, to how the land was before the railway was built. But as I say, that's the same design as Sprotborough, but Sprotborough is the only design of that Hull and Barnsley railway building that's left. Now looking online, I found this nice little track plan of it, and it's correct, because looking at the pictures, everything's pretty much right. So I've managed to get the track plan, which is very handy. Now this is the station master's house, but it's had so much added to it, and they've done a lot more work on it since the new owners. But trouble is, I think most of this is all been later additions to it. So redoing this, I don't know. It's going to be very difficult. I don't know whether to scratch build or just get something that looks like it, because they all seem to be different designs. Hull and Barnsley Station Masters houses. I've seen about 3 in the local area, and they're all different. They're all totally different from each other. So now we come to the plan. Right, that's the bridge, Nursery Lane Bridge I was telling you about. I've literally drawn all the roads on. Now this comes around here. fiddle yard there. That'll be KP tunnel there going into the fiddle yard. Curve around here. So I've got this load on top of Edwick Lane at the minute. It's the easiest way to do it. It comes around here into the station. Now I've literally drawn it full size how it's going to be. And this was the original plan, but if you can see how small these are roughly to scale, I think. So it's going to be a lot of fiddly work. And then now this is the bridge that's filled in, but now I was going to just do it like that so they run round, but I discovered if I had another 6 inches on to this end, I can make it a roundy, and if I bring this round this way, as I say, I can make it a roundy job. So I'll just show you with the point working. As I say, I'm going to bring this, I'll use the track as a pointer. I'm going to bring this so it sits level with this. So we've got that crossover there, got the curve, you got the fiddle yard at the back. It's still going to be built on one board. I say I've got all the point work. In fact, I'm not going to use these curves though, because they're short ones with joints, and I think too many joints are going to cause problems. So I'm going to get the longer curves for that. So, but I've got enough track here. I bought this bundle for £5, right? There's enough track to do both platforms, the little siding there, and probably a huge chunk of the fiddle yard as well. So but I've also got some spare bits up there as well. So all I've got to get now is just the curves. As I say, I'm not going to use these because they're only short, and I think too many joints, power problems, and I'm going to get the Pico ones. I think 4 make up that curve rather than about 8, 6 or 8 I think there are on there. So yeah, so as I say, all the roads are in. You've got KP tunnel there, and that end will be the bridge. But as I say, all I've got to do is just add another 6 inches on the board, and I can get the curve going round. So that's not too bad. So I'm quite pleased with that. I can get 3. Looking on the pictures of the real one, it looks like you only get two coaches in the platform. I've done it so you can get 3 coaches and a loco in there, and that. But as I say, I've got all this track as well. In fact, I'm pretty certain I've got enough track to do the whole thing once I get the curves and that. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get a big board. I think it's 5.5 by 2 anyway. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay all the track first, and then mark all this on there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the track bed out, because obviously this goes down for that bridge, and then it comes up and goes round that way. So and this then comes up, this road from here rises up above the track. So I'm going to sort of cut it, lay the track, test it, make sure it all works, and then I'm going to then just cut the track bed out, and then make the frame, fix it to the frame. Electric points. That is a strange one. I looked it up. Now, of course, with double O, you just bung the point motor underneath. With these, you've got to have it offset, because obviously where the bar goes through, I think you can see that, there's a little hole in the tie bar there. Well, that's where it goes. So you've got to mount the point sort of offset sort of thing. So that's going to be a bit of a strange thing to do. So yeah, that's the new project, Sprotborough. And I'll tell you what happened, how it come about, because originally Droxford was going to be N-gauge, and I'd bought a couple of coaches. There's one Lima and one Farish, and then I got to thinking about like locomotives, and I thought, well, hang on a minute, I've got more double O locomotives than I'm going to be able to get in N. So basically I thought I measured up, and of course I had to compress it, but I managed to build it in 00. So anyway, I had these two N-gauge coaches, and I looked at Sprotborough and I thought, I've got no more space for a 00 layout. Can't fit another 00 layout in, so I thought, make it an N-gauge, because obviously a smaller board, you can store it and things. So, but yeah, you can get the Farish coach is slightly longer, but you can get three coaches and a loco, and you may have seen this when I did my swap meet thing. I bought the Minitrix warship to go with it, so that will be the test loco. But I'm going in December, so I'm going to see if I can get a little 060 N-gauge loco as well, so I can sort of make sure the point works all right before I lay everything. I know the warship loco runs okay with the point work, but obviously I want to try something with a shorter wheelbase, because obviously I don't have problems with that and things. But yeah, that's it at the minute. That's the new project, Sprotborough. As I say, originally it was just going to run there to a little head shunt to the bridge and then run round. But I thought, well, I can make it, if I can make it a roundy, even better. So that's what I thought I'd do. As I say, all I've got to do is just pull this round so it's there. And yeah, what I've done is I measured from that point to that point, transferred it to there. That's why I've put that where it is. Basically, well, in fact, it's basically where that red mark will be. But I've measured it and add another 6 inches on the end of here. That'll be perfect. That'll be absolutely spot on. And then the road will come around there. Of course, the scenery will cover here, and then I can have like the control panel at the back and things. So yeah, it won't look too bad. See, the thing is, doing it this way, this would have been a great blank piece. See, this is basically a rock at the side of the platform and a rock cutting, so I can bring that there and have the rock at this edge of the board, so that won't get too bad. And then it goes on an embankment here to this bridge, and you've got Capey Road going around there. So that's the new project announced. I'm also thinking of another one as well. I'm going to see how I get on with this. And if this works, I'm going to do something a bit more ambitious. I've already got an idea, got loads of pictures of the idea what I'm going to do. I won't have to scratch build anything. Well, there's one bridge I'll have to scratch build, but the rest of it I can build with Metcalfe kits. So that's going to be another little project, because I can't build any more 00, and I do like the planning and the building. So I thought, well, and I've never dabbled in N-gauge. I thought I'd sort of want to give it a go, really, before I get too old and that, and the eyesight and the fingers go. So I thought I'd give it a try. So anyway, that's the new project announced, and just a little bit of background to it, and also sort of like a summary of things to do on the 00 as well. Anyway, thanks for watching. Happy modelling, and catch you again soon.